Hello everyone, welcome back to Saddle Up Shooting. I'm Dave Strohmeyer, your host. Now everybody should know by now that I'm new to the AR-15 and AR-10 platforms, all within the last 5 years. And I got hooked, and I think that most of you that are hunters that are my age or whatever should probably go ahead and get an AR-15 to learn a little bit more about the intricacies of and how good it can be. Well, today is one of those videos that we're going to be demonstrating because I just read an article about the difference between a collapsible carbine stock and an A2 style rifle length stock, and why you should have one over the other if you want to make your rifle run a little bit smoother, a little bit softer, and produce less recoil. So that's what we're going to be doing today, because I bought a brand new PRS Generation 3 Magpul stock over here that has a rifle length system in it, as opposed to the carbine system here with a Luth AR MBA3 stock. And I brought my son out today, so not only are you going to have my test results, but you're also going to have what he thinks about it as well. You know, you're going by feel, pretty much that's all you have to go by. But the target is set up at 100 yards. We're going to first use the same exact Nosler 55 grain with stay ball Winchester match powder. We're going to be shooting the same bullet, but we're going to go ahead and sight in first to make sure that we're on so we don't waste your time. So come back in a minute, folks. Let's go ahead and get shooting and testing. Alright, up first is my son Matt. He's shooting my Palmetto State with a 1-in-7 twist 24-inch barrel using the Carbine Buffer system. As you can see, this configuration is not what a normal AR-15 might be with a 16-inch barrel, what they call the door kicker type. This is set up for long range. This is set up for varmint hunting, which is real nice. That's why these things are totally customizable, and again, why I reiterate that each one of you should get one or two or three, because you can learn a lot about both internal and external ballistics that have to do with a gas gun as opposed to a bolt gun. Alright, so Matt's already shot 3 shots. He's pretty well sighted in. Now Matt, what I'm after is how if you have any increase in felt recoil, whether or not the muzzle jumps from your target. Okay, whether or not you can stay on the target and the muzzle moves very little, and then any type of like spring noise that you might hear. I know you got earplugs in, but you might be able to hear that, and whether or not the cycling seems to be smoother, not quite so fast and abrupt. In other words, when it picks up that round and puts that next round into the chamber, is there kind of a jump to it when it loads that second round? You follow what I'm saying? Yep. Okay, well, say hi to everybody so they get to know you.
How you doing?
All right, here we go. Matt's going to go ahead and shoot. I'll go ahead and turn the target camera on down there so that you can see his marksmanship skills. Okay, so Matt's going to be shooting my PSA 223-556. It has a 1-in-7 barrel twist, so it's designed for a little bit heavier. We're shooting the 55 grain Noslers. All right, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, you go ahead and tell the camera when you're ready and the audience when you're ready, and just go for it.
Okay. Ready to fire. Safety off. Right side target, upper left. Safety on.
Okay, did you see any audible or noticeable muzzle flip with those three shots?
It was not very much. I could stay on target fairly well.
Okay, through the scope didn't jump and all that. You can pretty much get your eye right back on pretty much immediately.
There was a slight jump, but not enough to take me off target.
Okay. As far as the recoil or sharpness back into your shoulder, did you feel a sharp wrap or was it somewhat normal?
A normal gentle push.
Okay. And of course the trigger, how did the trigger feel?
Crisp.
Okay. Did you hear any spring noise?
Just a little, but not much.
Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and switch over to my BCA with the rifle length buffer and buffer system and see if that makes any difference. Stand by. Okay, up on the bench is the Palmetto State, or excuse me, my Bear Creek Arsenal. It's my newest one. It's also set up with a 24-inch barrel. There's just the two differences, main differences, is this is the rifle length carbine or buffer and buffer spring system, what they call the A2, and it's with a Magpul PRS Generation 3, which is also about 1 pound heavier than the previous rifle with the Luth AR MBA3. Now there is one extra thing on here, and you might be able to notice that right off the bat. The previous rifle just had a flash hider on it. This rifle does have a muzzle brake, so it should be a little bit softer recoil anyway. But Matt, you're focusing on the same things. You're focusing on muzzle flip, whether or not you can stay on target, whether the softness or sharpness of the recoil back into your shoulder, and whether or not there's any spring noise. But you're going to have to do that subjectively because I want you to focus on the target and get some good shots. That's more important than this test. Okay, let me know when you're ready.
Ready.
Fire away.
Safety off. Ready to fire. Safety on.
Okay, so how did that feel? Was that softer than the previous rifle?
Yes, but by a lot.
By a lot, okay. The recoil impulse back into your shoulder?
Next to nothing.
Next to nothing. Were you able to stay on the target?
Yes.
Okay, so folks, this test doesn't really tell you very much, but because this rifle is set up a little bit differently than the other one. But my whole point here is why all of you should get an AR-15 or an AR-10 is because they are totally customizable to your individual shooting preferences, whether it's hunting, target shooting, or whatever. And you'll learn a lot. You'll learn about the gas system, what we've just gone through with the buffer system, the A2 versus the carbine, the barrel length, the velocity, the barrel twist, whether 1 in 7, 1 in 8 twist. This barrel has a 1 in 8 twist. The other one had a 1 in 7 twist. So it can shoot those lighter bullets without having to worry too much about them coming apart in midair. All right, we're going to go analyze the target now, and then the old man will get up there and shoot just to see if he can keep up with that young buck. Hang on, folks. All right, you saw what Matt could do. I'm shooting the same rifle now. Be the target just to the right, 3 shots. Let's see, his pattern went a little bit high, but he did put 2 right together there, so that's pretty good shooting. Okay, now that does give another proof to the theory. Same rifle, different shooter, same ammo. Now Matt adjusted his length of both his length of pull and his comb height to fit his eye alignment. He lowered the comb height quite a bit, and he extended the length of pull because he's longer than I am. All right, so then we put it back to where I had shot it. I raised the comb height and I brought back in the length of pull. And it was the same bullets that we just shot. And you can see where it came back on for me, right back onto target. So there's another thing that has to do with the customization of an AR platform, especially with an adjustable length of pull and comb height. That can be customized strictly to you. Okay folks, well, let's go ahead and I think you saw those targets, so I don't think there's any reason to go over those targets, but no matter what, thanks for coming out here and watching this and taking a look at what I had to say about the AR platform and why I think everyone ought to have one. If you enjoyed this, give me a thumbs up, folks. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave a comment if you will, and check your subscriptions. But no matter what, as always, God bless y'all. See you again next time. Goodbye.